On this channel, I talk about building financial wealth at the age of 24. And today I'm talking about 3 reasons why you shouldn't close your credit cards, or at least don't close them yet. A lot of people have problems with their credit and they want to raise their credit. And this is one of the easiest natural ways to do it. This is so important to know, because if you don't know this, you're basically going to be screwing over yourself the entire time you're trying to pay off your credit cards and trying to get rid of them instead of using them to your benefit. Okay, so the first reason why you don't want to close your credit cards, just as a little bit of background, is because when you have a credit card, it does a hard inquiry. So what that does is it let's just say it's Chase, right? Chase is gonna say, hey, I want to give Kai a credit card. So they're going to go and pull your credit information from TransUnion, from Equifax, and from, I forgot the other one. But they're going to pull your credit from those 3 places. So for the 3 credit bureaus. So the 3 credit bureaus are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Okay. So those 3 are going to go and do a hard inquiry. Now, when you do a hard inquiry, that lowers your credit. So the reason why I'm saying this first is because you don't want to just open and close and open and close and open and close credit card accounts, because you're continuously hitting your credit with these hard inquiries, which are decreasing your credit score. Like the overall credit score is going down. And for the 3 other reasons I'm going to name in this video, you're going to actually ruin your credit. Okay, so you might think, oh, as long as I get rid of the credit card, I'll be fine. But that's not necessarily the case. The purpose and the point, and maybe like the motivation, shouldn't be to get rid of the credit card. It should be to use it to your benefit. And this is exactly how you can do that without closing your card, at least not yet. So the very first thing is going to be age. Age plays a huge part in the for the credit that you can be approved for later on, the credit lines you can be approved for, and for the loans that you can be approved for later on. So let's just say you're my age, 24 years old, and I've had a credit card for like 2 days, but let's just say I've had my credit cards for a total of 3 years, right? Someone like my father, who's 55 years old, I don't know how many credit cards he has, but let's just say he's had credit ever since he was my age. So let's just say he's had it for a total of 31 years, okay? He is more likely to get a loan. He is more likely to get approved for a credit card. He's more likely to get approved for any type of credit line that he needs, personal, business, etc. Why? Like anything that pulls from his personal credit. Why? Because of the age of the card. Basically, your credit age tells them how reliable you are. So this is almost like giving a 3-year-old a car to drive, and this is almost like giving a 31-year-old a car to drive. Who do you trust? I would give my car to the 31-year-old because they have more experience, they've shown a history, and that's what's important. So your age is going to be your credit history, which is why it's so important to naturally make sure your credit is in good standing, because your credit history is playing a big part. So even if you have 31 years of credit history, but 31 years of credit age, but your credit history is trash, you're still not going to get approved for a loan, right? If you have 31 years of credit card age, but you don't have good credit score, then it's going to be very hard to get loans and to get lines of credit. So not only your credit history is important to your age, but the amount, basically the frequency of when you get the card. So like when you actually get the card. So every time you get a card, it adds to your age. So the more cards you have, the more age you have. And you can play with that on your own terms and do more research into that to try to make up your own strategy if that's what you want to go for. So like frequency of when you actually start the card, because that's when the age starts. And then the other thing that goes with your age is the fact that if you close a card, that age goes away. Okay. So let's say you have, let's just say I have 2 cards and he has 2 cards. One card I had since the beginning for the full 3 years. The other card I had for the past 2 years. Okay. Let's just say he has 2 cards and he had one for 30 years and then he had the other card for a year. If he closes the card he had for 30 years, his credit age is going to literally go so low because he is removing all of that credit history from that card. It's being closed. It's being removed off his credit score and off his credit history from the 3 bureaus, which is the TransUnion, the Equifax, and the Experian. So that's why your age is so important, not your personal age, but your credit age, right? So pay attention to what cards you're closing, because if you're closing a card that has a high age, you're going to be out of luck. You're better off keeping that card and closing this one so you can really save your credit age, which is going to help you to get loans and credit lines in the future. The next reason why you might not want to close it is your DTI. DTI is, and this is the secret to getting great credit really easily, is, well, one of the ways that credit, because I've literally like increased my credit score by 40-50 points in just a few weeks at some times because of different strategies that I know. So this is one of the ways that you can do it. DTI is your debt to income. Okay, so let's just say you're in $10,000 of consumer credit card debt and your income is $100,000. Okay, you have a great DTI because when you divide these numbers, it is less than 30%. Okay, so that's all you're looking for. You're looking for a DTI that is less. So you're looking for a DTI that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Once you get to 29%, you're getting in the hot zone. You do not want to go over 30. Okay. So basically, this is not just your debt of your consumer debt and your income. This is also the credit lines you have. Okay. So you might have your debt. You might have your debt as 10K, right? But if you have credit lines and all your credit lines combined are, let's just say 30K, well, you're actually in a really great place because you're only using 3%. Okay, you're only using 3% of your you're only using 3% of your total credit lines. So basically what I wanted to, the takeaway here is that your credit lines, which are lines of credit / your credit lines of credit, okay, these are all the actual credit cards. Okay, these are all the credit cards. These are the lines of credit. When I say that, I mean Chase might give you $7,000 credit limit, and then Discover might give you a $2,000 credit limit, and Apple might give you a $3,000 credit limit. Put together, this is $12,000 credit limit. So as long as you don't spend over 29 to 30% of this number, you're good. And let me actually do a little bit of math on that. So for your total usage, so 30% of $12,000, 30% is 3,600. Okay, so let's just literally break it down this way. If you get paid on the first of the month and you're trying to pay your bills, you have $12,000 of total credit available to you. Okay, if you are only $3,600 used of that, you're doing good. Okay, your DTI is part of your utilization. I talk about the DTI. I'm talking about the DTI in this video because this one makes more sense when it comes to the credit thing that I'm going to talk about. But this is basically what it is. So all the lines of credit added up, you do not want your revolving balance to be more than 30%. Okay, this is going to make sure your credit stays high. And so another way that you can really do this is getting credit cards for the purpose of increasing your DTI. So let's just say you have an offer come to you in an email and they're like, hey, you can have this credit card 0% APR and 0% balance transfers and 0% on all purchases for 24 months. Okay, you actually will be in a better position if you open up this line of credit, right? Let's just say these are your lines of credit you already have. Okay, you already have these cards. Again, this is how much was it? 7, 2, and 3,000. So this is 7K, 2K, 3K. Okay. If you open up this line and they end up giving you 5,000, well, now your total usage is going to be even lower because you're increasing the denominator. I mean, you're increasing the you're increasing the denominator. So the denominator goes from 3,600 over 12 to 3,600 over 12 to over 17. Okay, so this was already a good DTI, but this is even better. So when you open credit lines and you have a low usage on them, you get to utilize the fact that they've given you a great credit limit, and that can help to even out your DTIs, increasing your credit score. So essentially what I'm saying is that you may not need to close your cards just because you want to close them, right? There's so many beneficial ways to use credit cards. The first one is your credit age, right? We talked about what card is best to close first, right? When should you open cards? We talked about credit history. The next thing was DTIs, okay? Your actual lines of credit. This is the equation that's keeping your credit from being good. And you can increase your credit score by increasing the overall denominator, which is the amount of credit you have, while keeping your revolving balance under 30%. And that's how you can naturally increase your credit score.